Brené Brown's Rising Strong explores the process of recovering from failure, disappointment, and emotional struggles. She argues that setbacks are inevitable in life, but how we respond to them determines our ability to grow. The book is centered around the idea that falling down is part of the journey, and rising strong is a skill that can be learned. Brown introduces a three-step process for rising strong: the reckoning, the rumble, and the revolution. The reckoning is the stage where we recognize our emotions and acknowledge that we are experiencing difficulty. The rumble is the process of questioning the stories we tell ourselves about failure, shame, and vulnerability. The revolution occurs when we rewrite these stories in a way that empowers us to move forward. A key idea in Rising Strong is that humans are wired for storytelling. When something painful happens, our brains try to make sense of it by creating narratives, often based on incomplete or biased information. These stories tend to center around feelings of inadequacy, blame, or self-doubt. Brown encourages people to pause and examine these narratives before accepting them as truth. Brown emphasizes the importance of vulnerability in the process of rising strong. Many people try to avoid uncomfortable emotions, but she argues that true resilience comes from facing them head-on. Suppressing pain only delays healing, while allowing ourselves to feel and process emotions helps us move forward with greater clarity. Shame plays a significant role in how we deal with failure. Brown, a leading researcher on shame, explains that people often react to it by either withdrawing, lashing out, or numbing themselves with distractions. The key to overcoming shame is recognizing it, talking about it, and reframing it in a way that fosters self-compassion rather than self-criticism. One of the book's most powerful messages is the idea that people are doing the best they can. Brown describes how she initially struggled to accept this belief but ultimately found that it led to greater empathy and understanding. By assuming good intentions in others, we can avoid unnecessary resentment and approach conflicts with a more open heart. Brown also explores the concept of boundaries. While she encourages compassion, she stresses that being kind does not mean tolerating harmful behavior. Healthy boundaries allow us to protect our emotional well-being while still showing empathy for others. Learning to say no is an essential part of rising strong. Failure is often seen as something to be feared, but Brown reframes it as a necessary part of growth. She shares personal stories and research-backed insights to illustrate how embracing failure can lead to deeper self-awareness, creativity, and innovation. The willingness to take risks and fail is what separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. Brown highlights the role of curiosity in the rising strong process. Instead of reacting impulsively to setbacks, she encourages people to ask themselves why they feel a certain way and to explore their emotions with openness rather than judgment. This curiosity leads to self-discovery and more constructive responses to challenges. Forgiveness is another key theme in Rising Strong. Brown explains that true forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior but about letting go of the anger and resentment that hold us back. She acknowledges that forgiveness is a difficult and deeply personal process, but it is essential for emotional freedom. The book also discusses the importance of integrating our whole selves, the good, the messy, and the imperfect. Brown argues that authenticity is essential for resilience. When we accept our flaws and struggles instead of hiding them, we cultivate stronger connections with others and with ourselves. Brown challenges the idea that vulnerability is a weakness. She argues that allowing ourselves to be seen, even when we are struggling, is a sign of courage. When we show up authentically, we create space for deeper relationships and meaningful personal growth. The principles in Rising Strong apply to every aspect of life, from work and relationships to creativity in leadership. Brown shares examples from professionals, artists, and everyday individuals who have used these strategies to overcome adversity and thrive in their personal and professional lives. Ultimately, Rising Strong is about turning struggle into strength. Brown offers a practical and compassionate guide for embracing failure, owning our stories, and rising with more wisdom and resilience. By leaning into discomfort and engaging with our emotions, we can transform setbacks into powerful opportunities for growth.